This is A Who All Gonna Be Their podcast, a place where you get to be an exclusive member of our very entertaining group chat.
Hey.
Yeah. What is up, everybody? This is Kiki with A Who All Gonna Be Their podcast, the place where you get to become an exclusive member of our very entertaining group chat. This is Kiki. We have Tracy, and I said I was gonna put Hermon in the backstage, but I didn't. So Hermon is here with us. I have Eric, and we have Reese, and welcome to our very entertaining group chat.
Hey.
What's up, everybody?
What up?
What is up?
Look, we are very excited to be here.
Definitely 100%. Kiki already introduced him, but I'm gonna give a second introduction. Maybe we'll do a third or a fourth. Just kidding. Today we have a very, very special guest, Canada's favorite first jury member, none other than Hermon, A.K.A. Hermsy. What's up, Hermon? We're glad to have you here today.
Oh, you know it's your boy Hermsy just coming through in the cut. And that's all I'm saying. What you didn't know is I'm here now. Is the problem. So, we're ready to kick it off. I'm ready to see whatever comes. Nothing off limits.
I just want to tell us all your secrets.
Oh shit!
I don't know.
we see you got a little shave, a little
fresh, huh?
Something a little bit different.
Yeah.
True. We like it.
I turned 30. Everybody told me I started to look 30, so I said, "Fuck it, let me hit it with a cleanup." I'm back down to 26, and buy myself a few years.
There you go.
Do look younger.
It's given very 26. I agree with that.
I'm saying 26.
Yeah, it definitely makes it look younger.
That's 35 is what I'm saying.
I love that.
That's hilarious. Speaking of ages, when did you become a fan of this show? And was there a first season for you that you watched, or what was that?
Yeah, like I used to watch BBUS as a kid, like growing up. We had like 6 channels, you know what I mean? Global was one of them. So we whatever was on, we were watching. So yeah, Big Brother US, we used to watch on there. And like a couple, high school, you just kind of fall out from it for a bit. And then there was Big Brother season 1 I got into, Big Brother Canada. Yeah, Canada 1 and 2, fell off 3, 4, 5. I watched 6 because Marin was on it. Eritrean brother from Edmonton. And then
shout out to Marin.
And then I kind of got back into 8. I tried to watch, obviously got canceled. Then I really watched 9, like really, really watched 9. Because I was, I tried out for 9. I got pretty far. And then I was like, who was my replacement? Who could have been?
Who beat you in the process?
Yeah, I wonder.
Right.
That's interesting.
And I'm like, oh, it's Tyshawn because he's like a Greek. He's a god. And he's like, I was like, he got hair. He's a god. I was like, it was him. And then,
oh my God.
Oh, so you think that's what it was? That's what it was. Okay.
That's hilarious.
We're completely different players, but
so you would have won.
I can see that though.
I had a good chance. I don't know. I'm happy I got cast for this cast because, this was like the wildest, like most erratic group of people, and nobody made no damn decisions. But at least in season 9, they were down to roll with alliances and down to roll.
Mm-hmm.
People were loyal, kind of to each other. So like, I feel like I feel like I might have a little bit better in like a season 9 group of people, but
yeah. I feel like because what was Kevin calling it, trust clusters or something like that?
Yeah,
that was crazy.
I don't know. Kevin says a lot of stuff. I love Kevin, but I don't know what he's calling, but they definitely weren't alliances because they lasted until someone else was in power. Is what it was.
Why do you think that this season has such a hard time coming together as an alliance? Like you had Sav 7, that didn't work out. We all know why. Who imploded that? Why do you think that was?
I just think like everyone wanted to be a player, everyone wanted to be a gamer, and like, but everyone was overplaying. Like they lost the part of the game where, they lost it's so basic. You know, you need to have it's very basic. If you're not in power, you need the numbers for the votes. The HOH can't vote. They can tell you what they want to do. They can nominate people. But if the numbers are on your side, you really have the power and the control. That's where my head was at. Very logical. So I was like, let's just run it like that. But everyone's like, no, I got to make a big move, a big target. They're talking about taking out big players in week 2, week 3. Who the fuck's a big player? What
Right.
I was like, they're like, if we don't get him out now, we'll never have a chance. What? Like
the game just started yesterday.
I was like, I just found out. Like, I'm just so confused. Like, there's a chain of safety, the triple evictions. There's like, it's like, bro, you have no idea what's to come. But everyone wanted to be that big game player, make a big move early, and it was like the most chaotic. Like, no one logically thought like, okay, we have 7 votes. We made it through the first 2 weeks.
Right.
We didn't even have anyone in our group in power. We controlled the votes. Went into week 3, someone from the 7-7-1 just put up 2 people that aren't in the 7, and we control that vote. Going on to week 4, we literally run the house. It's 7 on 6.
God.
Right.
It's 7 on 6, and 6 of us are playing. So it's 6 on 6. Like, I'm a math guy. I'm like, this is perfect. I couldn't think of a better start. That's why I was crushed week 3. Don't even get me started.
let me ask you a question that I think we talked about this earlier on the pod of just how the dynamics are different in America versus Canada. It's like when you're in America, we know how America is, you know, it's great. But it's just an automatic thing for the Black people to gravitate towards each other.
Yeah.
And we thought it was, you know, and we what we see, and we base that off of, you know, BBCAN 9 as well, is like there's not that automatic like sense or magnet for you guys to gravitate toward each other. And we think like, well, maybe it's because their racism ain't as hard as it is in America. Right. So I'm curious, like, did y'all even get that sense ahead of time? Did you go in thinking like, it's 6 Black people in here, like we gotta team up? Because you know we was definitely screaming that from over.
Yeah,
like, link up.
It's one of those things like we didn't want it to be like a us versus them, you know, and like and not so obvious. Like it's just like we're just obviously we have each other's backs to a certain extent. Like let's not like make this like we really weren't trying to do a cookout 2.0. We didn't
cookout,
we felt like it was too obvious. Also, naturally, the problem was too naturally. The house had gravitated to a white room and a black room. So there was already heat. Yo, the question mark alliance, the question mark group, whatever. Yeah. So we start calling that off the jump. Everyone's like, yo, it's too heat. There's too much going on. Let's stay.
Right. It's too obvious.
It's too obvious. Of course we're together. You know, we're in the same room. And then, of course, everyone that wasn't Black was winning HOHs other than me, right? So
I was dying. I was like, what are y'all doing?
Why y'all can't win nothing?
Why someone can't win nothing?
I was giving listen, we didn't win shit. I didn't win shit. After that, like I saved my life, great, but like that's what I was getting on. And T was really trying. That's what I was getting on Summer because I was like, I need you to play these games. Like I need you to do it.
Summer was killing us.
When she told you that she wanted to play in the veto, but she wasn't going to use it on you, listen, I was dying laughing.
Anyone else watch that? Like
we were dying. Like Summer, I know you lying. Are you serious, sis?
She's just so like she's so honest and like
she is.
In that moment, I think she just like forgot we're playing a game. Like
Summer is just too real. That's what it came down to.
Right.
And that's exactly why I couldn't play the game because I'd be playing just like Summer. I'd be like, nah, I ain't putting your ass on the block. What's up?
That's why I love her. She's so cool. Like, and she's just so honest about that shit. But I was like, great. Well, I'm not picking you. And then the next morning she came by and she's like, hey, I changed my mind. I think I'm gonna use it on you. I'm like, cap.
There's no I think, right? And there's no I think. I need to know that you're going to use it.
Right.
I was like, that's not real. That's not real. You just want to play the game, right? So I was like, I'm just gonna look somewhere else. I appreciate your honesty. She's like, no, I'll play. Like, no. Really give me
what we saw all kinds of different strategies. Some played like a smart Buster Blues. Some went in there a sweet doctor. What was your strategy going into the game?
So I just wanted everyone to understand that. So first of all, my strategy was to create a big alliance. It was also to have a showman's. You know, that was on the table.
Summer.
Well, yeah.
Sorry, I'm the messy one on the pod.
No,
I'm sure you learned that already in these 9 minutes.
Well, I wanted to I didn't want to win the first HOH. Number one, did not want to win that. I wanted to win week 2 or 3. I wanted to have a big alliance by week 2, which I did, and I wanted to have some type of a showman situation by like week 2 or 3. So like week 2 was kind of Summer was hot and cold to me. Like she did not want people to. She didn't really trust me. Didn't want people to know like there was anything. So then me and Steph got a little closer. So that was kind of like the started building on that showman thing. But then like the next week she's up on the block. So then that wasn't like gonna go anywhere. So then after that, me and Summer started connecting after that. But that was my plan until week 3 exploded. Then I had to start from scratch. And basically, all I thought was if I could just be loyal to one person and just finally trust somebody, then that would be Josh, right? Because Moose had thrown my name out under the bus.
Yeah.
She was kind of on her way out that week, and then it was just like all this craziness. So yeah, that was my strategy.
Speaking of that, like with Moose, I was gonna say real quick, Kiki. I'll let you go, Kiki. Because from the first episode, it looked like you and Moose were like really tight based off how they edited the show, and I was like, oh, like this is gonna be a really good duo. And it seemed like you guys had each other back. But then the next thing we knew, he was throwing your name under the bus and then throwing, back in the bus right back over it. So what happened with it? Like
Moose was in the bus and back and you reversing. It was like, Moose, what are you doing?
I was very surprised.
We were really close. Then week 2, like I was trying to keep my distance from Marty, Kyle, Gino, Moose, right? Like I was trying to like kind of keep my distance and Jace. So then they thought Moose took that. I kept explaining to them, I'm just trying to keep my distance so no one gets any ideas, whatever. Moose took it as I wasn't trying to talk game with him. So he started to feel threatened. He started telling everyone that he wanted to come after me because he knew I would put them up, or he would put me in tee up. I was coming after him, which was just like a fabricated, like it was. And I never said that once. And so I confronted him week 3 when Kyle used that as a tool to turn me on Moose. Confronted Moose on it, and that's like when Moose kind of, came clean with it. But I mean, if Moose hadn't done that, if Moose came to me first week and said, "Hey, I got to tell you something. Me and this Kyle kid actually know each other. Like, that's my secret to tell you." He would have been my final 2 for sure. I would have locked in with Moose. It would have been done. Maybe the Savage 7 survives, maybe whatever, right? Maybe we build that kind of trust. But after he said my name and Kyle told me that he said my name, I was done. I was kind of like done with being that close with Moose. Like,
yeah.
It's like he owed me something.
With the whole, Kyle and Moose knowing each other thing. So we were cracking up laughing because it was like, I think Kyle had set everyone down. I don't know if you were in the room or not. It was like, so basically there's a secret and, we know each other and da-da-da-da-da. And everybody's faces were like real serious. Did you guys care?
Well,
he had like he was Grodner's grandson or something. He was like, what is this?
I always wanted to know, did you guys care? Like, what was going through you guys' mind at that time?
Well, I wasn't in that room because he wanted to pull members of the 7 in. So he talked to me and Gino before. Like, a couple of boys kind of teed us up. We're like, oh, okay, crazy. And then he pulled them in like separately. And then had this conversation. That's when Josh was like, "I'm shivering." You know what I mean?
My God. Yeah. It was so fake. Everybody was like,
"My degree is not actually this. It's actually a sports media." I'm like, we don't care.
Who cares?
It's like, oh damn, sports media. It's like, shit, bro. Like, no way.
He acted like he was the real Tony Stark. Like, what is you talking about, man? I'm Iron Man, y'all. What?
He would have said, "Listen, I'm actually a doctor in human psychology," and like
that would have been a shock.
Yeah, then it'd have been like whatever.
But then it was also week 3. Like, why? First of all, no one cares about that. It's week 3. Why are you revealing a secret week 3? I don't get it, but
it didn't make any sense. It wasn't like a big reveal. We didn't really care.
It wasn't. Right. But y'all acted the part. Yeah. Every single one of y'all was like, wow.
HOH, right? So like it's an ego stroke. Yep. You're like, oh, for real?
You gotta pat him on the back.
Like, bro, you like do sports and media? It's like, wow!
There was like a story you were telling on the feeds, like with Kyle and him saying he doesn't even know your name, your last name, and stuff like that. You were going around the house telling everybody. It was so funny because you told the story the exact same way every time.
I was so mad. I walked in the room. And we're having like our game time. Like, hey, bro, what's going on? Like, let's plan this like 7 thing. Let's really get like a big move going. He goes, "I know what you did." Like, just hits me. I can't even tell the story again. We don't need to do all that again. But he's like, he just tells me. I know what you did. I'm like, what? He's like, I don't even know whatever your last name is. I was like, bro, I'm gonna jump this table. Like, this is Cardi. Like,
if y'all, I bet they're gonna bring him back though. In the to see the two of y'all play again, like, would be so crazy, insane. I don't think people want that. But let me ask you this.
Wait, hold on. Who two? Hermon and who?
Hermon and Kyle.
Kyle who?
No.
Girl,
he don't need to be on our screen ever again.
Right. Let me just say, not a fan.
We don't know her.
Don't put me
not a fan.
Where that man gets HOH again, for real.
I know, right?
I think he just wanted to be like Frenchie and have be epic and have some epic moment, but it flopped. Okay,
he should have watched the feeds. He should.
It's week 3. What, like you mentioned earlier, like what big move? There are no big players in week 3 to go after. Like,
well, he was, in hindsight, he was right about Josh. He was, I was mad. I didn't want Josh to go home, but he was right about that. Speaking of Josh, this 5-4 vote situation, do you think that because you wanted to make sure the vote was 5-4 before you changed your mind and you were like, well, I'm voting to keep Josh anyway, do you believe that eroded trust with Summer, Josh, T, whoever else was voting? Do you feel like that eroded a little bit of trust there?
Yeah, definitely. Like, because I basically told everyone that if they told anybody I was voting that direction, I was not going to do it, because I was trying to still play both sides of the house.
Right.
But realistically, all I wanted to do was save Josh. I just didn't want the plan to be exposed, right? But I didn't realize how on board everyone else was.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I wasn't actually going to be the flip, or Helena wasn't going to be the flip, because everyone else was doing it already, So they saw me as like, why is he so flippy floppy if everyone else is so good?
I think that's literally what changed, especially with Summer and T, where they started putting in that little doubt about you. I think it was literally that vote right there.
Yeah.
And from my side, I was like, I'm risking my game. Like I was risking my entire game I was picking my side of the house, and I was the side that wasn't winning at the time, to be honest.
Right.
So I was like, I'm gonna just stake my claim. At least I can trust these people, because these guys just blew up my 7 alliance, and half that group was over here. So I was like, at least I can trust this squad. Then I get over there like, we can't trust you. I'm like, holy fuck.
We was like, are you serious? Because to be real, I mean, it's like at the end of the day, even if her mom was playing both sides, you have to realize this is gonna work in y'all's benefit.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all where I'm voting. I'm not telling this side that, this is how it's going to go. If anything, they should have used that to their advantage. And I think that would have flipped the whole game. But
and I was giving them information. It's not like I not giving them information. I was telling them stuff. And T kind of threw me under the bus one time with Marty, and Marty brought that up in week 6, and I was like, oh, so I got crucified for not being trustworthy. But then I told them stuff, and then they told on me. Then Summer got mad because I didn't tell her that Marty said he was going to put her and Betty up on the block. Because I've been damaged in the past.
So right.
But then they use that against me, because now I'm not trustworthy for not telling her. I was like, I can't win.
You can win.
Let me ask you, when was the exact moment you think where you lost trust in Helena? Like, I know there was a point and I was like, yes, Herms, we don't trust her. We don't know her. Who is this? I know you were one of the first people that were very vocal, and you spoke a lot to the camera. I was like, nah, I don't know what's up with her, but something's not right,
Yeah. I felt like I was begging for her vote that week.
Yes.
Week 4. Week 3? No. What the fuck week was it? Yeah, week 3 to keep Josh. I felt like I was begging for her vote. Didn't feel good to beg, but I was like, I'll do whatever it takes. But I mean, supposedly she had already told the girls she was voting to keep Josh, and the girls told her not to tell me because they didn't trust me. That's what it was.
Helena was going back and forth, which was very annoying for us as viewers to watch, because she was.
Sorry.
It's okay. You're okay. It was annoying to watch. So she was going back and forth, but I think she was also playing it up for cams too. But it was very, very weird how she was acting towards you when you would like leave the room.
Jesus.
Some people just don't get along.
Well, yeah, like I was just asking, like, and I would just be like trying to promise her stuff, and then the True Few, I literally I was like, name the alliance. She said True Few. I was like, that's it, that's the name. So I wanted to have ownership of the names so that we could have the votes for week 3.
Right.
that was like the plan, right? So I said, let's make an alliance. Let's lock it in 7 people. Byyye, Helena added to the original 5 that was in the 7, and then I need names. Helena said True Few. I was like, that's the name. And I felt like if she had ownership of the name, she'd have ownership.
She'll feel like she's really a part of it.
Yeah, and we'd have the votes. That was the thinking. So then fast forward to week 5 when T goes up, right? Yeah, T goes up.
Yeah.
I'm campaigning to try and keep T, and then I'm tagging Helena for a vote. I'm done. Like
that's really when she lost me, and they didn't show a lot of it on the edit in the feeds. That girl was talking too much mess behind your back, and I was like, girl, she did not like you.
No,
let me just keep it real. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, Helena had a really good spot in the game. She literally could have just sat there and be quiet and not said nothing. You know what I mean? Yeah. And just wherever she threw her vote, But she was going back and forth and doing this, and she was just like, "Oh, Hermon, we got to get Hermon out. He just making up stuff." And that's when she lost me.
Yeah, I
was upset about that.
She told me after the show, like when she got the jury and stuff, she's like, "Hey, like I just want to apologize. You're gonna see some stuff on there, da da da." And I was like, "Oh, okay, like can't be that." Then I'm watching them read the show, and I'm like, "Oh,
you really didn't like me."
You really didn't fuck with me.
But look, I was just like, were feeds down and Hermon did something? Because she had a really distaste for you. So I'm like, we had to have missed something because
we literally could not figure it out. Like, so like,
I wish I did something. Like,
what you do to that girl?
Listen, there was someone in the house who had this utter disdain for you, and they actually nominated you. So could you walk us through when Jess nominated you and you went to the cams and you were like, I'm going to win this veto, fam. I'm going to pull myself off. And like, because you were really the only people, like one of the people that talked to the cams. And so like for us, we were like, yes, get hype.
Oh, I love
and
that.
then for you to actually go in and win the veto and take yourself off, could you walk us through that?
Yeah, I mean, Jess wins HOH. I know I'm going up. Immediately, I know I'm going up. And there's, a day between, right? So my whole mindset's preparing to go up, go by my daily duties, do whatever, right? They tell me I'm going up, then they try and extract information. I go buck, right? I'm like, chill out. That's my version of buck. I was very calm. But afterwards when I leave, then I get like, la, 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 so.
We ate it up.
Yes.
You know what? That was my biggest tweet. I screen recorded you going off after she left. Was it the question mark room? Fam, are you out of your mind, fam? I was saying fam for like a week. Oh my God. Like I was, because you literally said everything. We were screaming at the screen. We were just like, I know she out of her damn mind.
Right, because we knew that they were trying to get a reaction out of you when they were trying.
We was like, yes, Hermon. I loved you so much in that moment because especially like even just to step outside of the game, they expect Black people to go off and da-da-da-da-da. And I love the fact that you kept it calm, you kept it cool, and then you was like, and then another thing after she left, you know what I mean? So I'm glad you showed us your real self, all while keeping your composure.
I was business when we were having this conversation, and I was like, I could, like, my skin was hot, like, I could feel, like...
Oh, we know.
And I was like,
we saw it.
I'm like, it's coming, something's coming. I'm like, it's super cool. It's like I feel like it was a pissed off customer, right? So
yep.
Exactly.
Take the lashings. They're HOH, take the lashings. And I was like, you just gave up your power by telling me you're going up. You have no power over me. It's gone.
It's done.
And now you're asking for information. Absolutely not. Thank you for your time. See you later. So then they dipped, and I was like, yo, did y'all you got like, I was like, am I in this room by myself? I'm by myself in the room, right? I'm literally talking to myself. Like, you feel insane, but I was like, someone's watching. So there's that one viewer on live.
Baby, we was all watching.
Yeah, it was fun.
I love that.
It was fun. A fan has a question for you. Wentworth's fake idol says, can you explain how your sales career helped you in the early game?
Yeah, I think it really helped because there's emotions are high and low. There's good and bad. You're put in conversations where it can be very easy to show your cards in the way you feel. You got to keep it business. You got to keep it, you got to make sure people feel heard. You got to validate their concerns, and then you reply, right? Like So that's all in stuff that I train my guys, right? So if there's any, even objections to an idea that you have, right? Like it's easy to take that personally, like, well, no, man, like obviously you're working with the other side, but internalize it, take what they're telling you, and then, apply that for your next game move, which would be, okay, well, they obviously don't feel strongly about this. I can tell by their cues, their facial cues, their body language. Like, half of communication is body language.
The nonverbal.
Nonverbal. So, picking up on those cues, that's stuff I do all the time. If we're selling cars, I can tell if I say a word and you blink or you move a certain way, I can tell that's your hitting point right there. So I gotta.
And we actually saw that you putting a lot of that into practice during Kyle's HOH week, because there was a moment where he was hinting at and saying he didn't trust you, and you were like, Kyle, I hear what you're saying. I feel like what you're saying is this. And it was just, to me, it was such good gameplay. On the opposite end of the spectrum, the week you and Betty were up, unfortunately, the week you went home, Betty used in her pitch a lot that you were like a used car salesman. Do you think that that's what did your game in, or do you feel like it was something else?
No, I think I played a big part. I think it caused enough doubt and in the players' minds and made me come off as a bigger threat because I trusted Betty so much off the rip, because we knew each other, knew of each other.
Yeah,
I was like honestly, week one, I was like, Betty, listen, we're talking about life and all this stuff. And I was like, I really don't I'm not here for the paper. I'm here to the experiences. I want to see if I can do this. I really think I could be good at this game. I'm in sales. Listen, I'm a GM of a dealership. I do pretty well for myself. I kind of confided in Betty in that, right? Of course, we end up being on the block together. So I gave her that nugget, and she was. And also the one other person I told was Gino, when I was trying to get Gino's vote and stuff like that. I was like, I'm not a finance manager. There's a bit more to me, man. I kind of been doing this for a living, bro. I do pretty well for myself. He was talking about his Forex trading and stuff he likes to do. So I was trying to give him a bit more to gain that trust, and then of course Jace. It's like, yo, that was an incredible pitch. She really told me in that room, yo, I think that was the best pitch I heard so far.
It was.
They were going to keep you.
I know.
Definitely. You had the house flipped. You really did.
Gino talks her off the ledge. He's like, yo, he's a salesman. Betty, remember a salesman this summer? Everyone's getting the salesman pitch. It's like, fuck, man. You don't think other people fuck.
I was so hurt when you went home. I was on racist Reddit and I said, I'm like, yeah, Hermon staying in y'all face. I was talking mess. I was all like, yeah, y'all. I was talking so much mess.
It was a lose-lose.
But it was a great pitch, man.
Because you and Betty were our favorite people. So to see both of y'all next to each other and no way for both of y'all to stay, it was just it was a hard week. It was a hard week.
I was really, really sick that
we had
week.
On our black. We really wore black that next pod. We really did. We was so sad.
We had a moment of silence for you and everything.
We did.
It was. I just felt like, honestly, I'll take it on the chin, but I really just felt like it was too early. It was too early for my game. I felt like I had a lot more to give, and I was a lot more fast.
Definitely.
In the game. I never got to really show everybody. I felt like I had more in the tank, so it just felt like it was cut short for no reason. And it was someone I was kind of already working with, who I'd worked with in the past. It felt like a slap in the face, So I was like, that's why I was so mad at Marty,
Yeah.
Everybody. So we did a draft, right? And so in this draft, we had to place who we thought would win more competitions or who would be the first jury member. And I am so sorry, Hermon, but I did put you as the first jury member, so I got it right.
Wow.
Eric jinxed you.
Yeah, I'm blocking you, Eric. I'm blocking you.
Look, I ain't gonna even lie. Look, first episode, I was just like, oh, Hermon either. I said the very first episode, said Hermon is either gonna win the first HOH or he going home. I don't know. I said no. I said he's gonna give off this salesman vibe, this pitch, and he's gonna be all too much. I literally said that, and he gonna go home, but. Baby, I'm so glad you won HOH because I admit when I'm wrong. And my first initial thought of you, I was like, he's going to be annoying very fast. Yeah. We're going to get tired of him. He can go. Look, I keep it real. But oh my gosh, you are such a joy. You put, to make it simple, you put so much seasoning in this season for us. whenever we found the feeds, it's like, okay, Hermon's on feed 3. Everybody, we're moving to feed 3. Let's see what he's doing over here. Like even outside the game, it was just so entertaining just to watch, you know. So I appreciate you.
I feel like I got a tough rap going into it because I feel like on a lot of these drafts and stuff, I wasn't really picked very high, and it's not like I went like I wasn't there forever, but I just think I turned out to be different than what people thought.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, 100%.
100%.
100%.
I was like, everyone says they're funny, everyone says they're whatever, but like they want, you know, they put me in a suit, they got me with the thing, and they got me in all this. And they're like, oh, this boy gonna be like boring, schmoring, like in
they
here.
just sprinkled on that car salesman too much, I think, in the edit. Yeah. And so that's where we was just like, oh Lord, he gonna be getting on our nerves. He gonna try to sell me some.
I thought it was gonna be Keith. I don't know if you've seen BBUS season 13, but I was like, you're giving me Keith vibes, and he was out second. So I was like,
Okay. I haven't seen that, no, but
do you see yourself playing again though, Hermon, if they called you back?
Yeah, I would play again. I feel like I just left. There's stuff like left on the table. Like, I feel like there's facets to my game I never got to really explore fully. So, and I just feel like I got more to offer. In gameplay sense. Like, I just think there's more situations I could have been able to finesse more. You know what's funny? Okay, so when Marty was on the, and yes, I would play again, 100%. Yes, that's good. But if when Marty was HOH at week 6. You get some stuff, perks as HOH, right? He had a couple beers, a couple cans of beer. And I seen him, he put him in the fridge, right? So the menace in me, the stir the pot poppy is like, listen.
Stir the pot poppy.
these beers are just in here.
I like that.
These beers are just in here and they're just sitting here. So I was like, I got to deal with this. Like, fuck this guy, man. I was like, let me deal with this. So he told me I was safe for a week, right? So now I'm thinking, do I jeopardize this? If someone wakes up in the middle of the night and sees me popping these cans of beer and pumping them out, like, do I jeopardize this game? I'm already safe. It's not like I'm at risk. So I'm like, I try and get up. So there's no alarm clocks. So I go to bed. I'm in my mind, I'm set. I'm popping these things of beer. I'm dumping them and I'm putting them in the center circle, the spin ring thing. This wheel of fucking who cares? And I put that in the center. And he's gonna wake up in the morning and see his 2 cans of beer there, and it's gonna be beef because this guy loves his beer. So
we didn't see this. They cut this.
It didn't happen. Listen, I went to bed.
I
went to bed at midnight, and I'm like, whenever the good night, whatever. So I go to bed, and I'm like, okay, bro, just get like 3 hours. Wake up 3 a.m. Bust out, pop those things, go back to bed. So like, go to bed, right? And I'm trying to like light sleep, like whatever. Next thing you know, I wake up. It's like good morning. I was like, oh fuck! So like, I get up. And I run downstairs, like jump out of bed, right? Run downstairs real quick. And I turn the corner, hit the kitchen, and Marty's just pouring a cup of coffee. He's like, good morning. I'm like, oh, fuck.
That man was up at the crack of dawn, man.
Oh, he sure was, like a grandpa.
He never hit REM sleep, not once. He just hits this, close his eyes, sleep like this.
Oh, yeah, because, evil never sleeps.
Why do you think Marty was washing y'all in so many competitions? What was happening?
Yeah, man. He really was watching.
How y'all let Father Time beat y'all in all these physical endurance stuff?
He was kicking y'all ass.
Hey, listen, Marty's a different beast. Like this guy, I'm not playing with you. Like this guy, like Tybo and like P90X and stuff.
Yeah.
He's been doing that for like 4 or 5 years. I know he's old. Don't get me wrong. But he does this stuff all the time, right? Then in the house, he's like, oh, the backyard's closed. What do? He would just run the stairs nonstop for 40 minutes. Nonstop for 40 minutes, right? So then
he's like, my knee hurts.
Oh, so then
like, what?
To the competition like this, right?
Yeah.
And then the competition starts. He's like,
we were literally looking at that. He was just like, how can you target a old weak man? We were like,
he was like Master Roshi. He's like Master Roshi from DBZ. He's like, oh, I can't do anything, but then he powers up and he's freaking.
Yeah. It was the most bizarre thing ever. And kudos to him, man. He crushed it. Like, I mean, the Mount HOH comp, like.
Yeah, I give him credit. He was beast.
No, I don't give him no credit. Speaking of not getting credit, when did you find out about Rebel Rejects? Do you know what that alliance is? Does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be you, T, Summer, Kevin, Helena.
Yep.
When did you find out about that?
Well, Summer asked me to be in it like week 4, I think.
Because there was a big, I wouldn't say big controversy. I'll say big-ish, because they made Rebel Rejects. They said they were going to tell you about the Rebel Rejects. We didn't see them tell you on the feeds, so we assumed that they didn't tell you about it. And then when Kevin approached you to do comedians, and then you pitched to him an alliance with Kyle instead of the one with Summer, that's where people felt the disconnect happened.
Okay. Hey, that's a good point. I think they told me week 4. Summer brought it up to me, and I told her this was week 3, I think.
Yeah, it was Kyle's HOH week.
Yes, because here's the thing. Me and Kevin at that point were playing a very similar-ish game. Like, we were both playing both sides, right? So the girls, like T and Summer, thought they had Kevin on lock, right? Lock.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to Kyle. Kyle says he's got Kevin on lock. Took him to Wendy's. So, took him to Wendy's. They got Gino. Gino's pitching me, you got to get close with Kevin, because him and Kyle and Gino got a final 2. So I'm like, yo, Kevin is untrustworthy. And Summer's like, let's do a Rebel Rejects. I'm like, fuck this guy. Don't trust him. I was like, I'm coming to hang out with y'all on this side. I want to be.
Yeah.
But why are you guys trying to bring this menace? Like, this guy I don't trust this guy at all. He's doing something weird. Helena's shady shit too. So I'm like, I'm not hanging out with these guys and just jumping in an alliance with them. And then Summer's like, oh shit. Like, I think Summer at that point felt like, she told me this after, but she felt like she had exposed how close her and Kevin. And with her, Lena, and the Mad Dance and all this stuff, right? So I was like, so then I was in the shower, I think, at one point, and she came up and she's like, hey, like, thank you so much about Kevin. You're right, I couldn't trust him. Thank you so much for letting me know. I was like, and I'm like, see, I told you.
She didn't care though, because she didn't do nothing about it. She still kept throwing them comps, and she could have probably won to do something about it.
Look, we talking to Summer next, and we're gonna have a conversation about the throwing all the comps. That's gonna be my number 1 question.
I thought
she was killing us.
Like, she literally.
She's trying to get the heat off of her back with how close she was to Kevin at that point. She still didn't trust him, but she told me that she didn't, to try and get the heat off, right? And I bought it, I ate it up. I was like, oh, thanks, my girl. Like, yo, come here, give me a hug. Like,
Ooh, that's hilarious.
You know what? Let me bring this up since we're talking about heat. Do you remember that night in the hot tub?
Oh, yes.
Okay, that's all I wanted to say. You ain't got to answer no question. That's it.
That was our first kiss. It was great.
You know what? The way we were like dying to see this kiss, and then when they finally show it, they do like a 4-second, like it was like a half a second. I'm like, oh, y'all not even giving us like the good tea.
But we got like 20 segments.
We only saw like half a second of it, right?
And it was like a 2-parter. It was like a kiss and then another kiss. So like they.
See, we missed all that tea.
The first time, you guys never saw that on live feeds at all?
No, they cut it. But they cut that entire hot tub scene where y'all were having it. We didn't see any of it.
Oh wow!
And I know y'all was getting a little buck wild out there because y'all was drunk.
It was demon time. That's crazy.
They didn't show us that, but they sure made sure to show us Kevin dressed up as a lawyer pitching.
They did
his whole pitch in the HOH. Anyway, let me move on from that. Let me ask a more serious question. Okay. What is some advice that you would give to Black players going in this game? What's something that they really need to know? Something important they need in a think tank.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would say like I if it feels right, and it's okay to congregate and with people, other Black people, and like
they look like you.
That look like you, and like other Black people, and don't be afraid of like having that. I think everyone's so scared about being like the angry Black man or whatever. Like there's a difference between anger and passion. Like you can be passionate. It's different. Like if a white person gets like that, then it's just they're passionate, or someone did them dirty. We get like that. It's we're out of control and we're mad and we're irate. Like there's controlled aggression, and I think you could do that the right way. But I think just like align with your people, man. It's all good. Like it doesn't. That's something I would definitely take into consideration myself again going around this time. But and I would just say like I don't know. I always try to. I mean, it's also easy to stick with like-minded, like-looking people.
Yeah.
That's sometimes the easier, more comfortable thing to do. But I tried to work with Marty. I tried to work with Gino and Kyle and all these guys and whatever, like just different people that were very different from me. So, don't be closed-minded to it, but don't like completely close off the. I guess what I'm saying is like
they're gonna group you together anyways, so might as well have fun.
We fought it so hard. Even me and Moose working together. We fought that so hard because they said week 2, like, yo, you and Moose seem really close. Like they would just drop that and then dip. Yeah. Right? And that was enough for us to be like scattered. But you could say, Kyle and Gino are really close. They never scattered.
It's nothing.
They work together nonstop.
Exactly.
Let me ask you, your relationship with Gino, the way you brought out the most personality in that man. Gino, if I had to talk about Gino is like, like when you get your house painted and it's nice and fresh and it looks good, but it's just drying. Yeah. That was Gino for me. But when y'all got in the room and y'all took y'all little clothes off and y'all was in y'all little undies,
playing WWE.
Where did that start? Because when I tell you we was on feeds, like, all right, the night ain't done until we get a little undie action between Herms and I don't know why that was so entertaining, but we enjoyed that so much.
It was so funny.
Who started doing that?
Oh man, so basically one time, oh my gosh. So basically one time Moose is in the room and he's like, yo, he's like talking all this shit in the question mark room, right? Like, Moose, get out of here. He's like, oh yeah? He's like, you told Gino you're gonna beat the shit out of him? Dude, that's crazy. And I'm like, what? And he opens the door, Gino's HOH. I think it was week 4 or something. It must have been before that. No, it must have been before that. But this is one of the ones where we're like most memorable, like kind of when it really was kicking off. Every night, so he goes out and he's like, "Hey, Gino," he's like, "Her mom says he's gonna beat the shit out of you." And then, and Gino opens up.
I love that.
He opens up the HOH door like, "Huh?" And then he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "And he says he's gonna take your lunch money, punk." And like, and I'm in the room like, "Yo, what the fuck?" I'm like, "Somebody get off me, man! Like, what the fuck?" And then. So then he's like, what? And Gino's walking like from his HOH room, like this,
taking off his clothes. Like, Gino was definitely the first one to get naked.
Oh yeah, he's ready. Yeah. Anyways, no comment. But he's always hey, if you look like that, you probably want to take your clothes off too, like
right.
So, but then it's shirt, pants, and I'm like, all of a sudden, this man walks through the door naked. I'm scared as shit. I'm like,
oh my God. I'm like, what's going on?
What's happening here? He's like, you gonna take my lunch money? I'm like, oh! Like, I turn around, boom, tackle. I'm on the bed, and that was like the first time we're dying laughing, right? Like, and it's like
we were crying seeing that.
It was so stupid. And then every night we would just like open each other's doors, like one after another. We
just look.
Just look
about
at
to go down.
just
like this, what we doing? All right. I love it.
So funny to me.
Why? Flying everywhere, right? And Big Brother's like, stop that, stop. We're just fucking.
Yeah, Marty hit his head on the camera one time when he had that mark on his head for like 4 days.
He did have this red mark. It was crazy.
This is one of the best moments of the season for me. This is so funny. This is so funny. Okay, so he walks in. Okay, they all walk in, right? They take me each limb, absolutely limb by limb. And Moose has got like a mixture. It's oats, granola. It's like almond peanut butter and Nutella, chocolate hazelnut spread. We weren't allowed to say Nutella. So they take it, and then all of a sudden they come in this bowl. It's kind of hot too, like boom on my chest, my titties, and they got my face. And it was like
oh Jesus,
everywhere, right? So I'm like, I'm pissed, right? And Gino's right in front of me, like holding my arm. So I just grabbed, like scoop wherever I could, and just slap Gino in like the head with it, like that hard. All of a sudden it's Panic at the Disco. Jason's trying to hit me with the flosser. Marty thinks I'm coming for him, so it makes a blind turn and just goes like 45 kilometers into the camera. The RoboCam's up. Marty's leaking.
Oh yeah, they cut fees shortly after that.
I can't breathe. It's so funny. I'm like, he hurt himself.
Oh, that was all of us.
Oh man.
And I broke
hilarious.
I broke Jason's power flosser. It actually turns out it was Betty's. This might be a world exclusive, Betty. That's your power flosser. It's broken.
Not world exclusive. Oh, Jesus. I loved it.
That's hilarious. Hermon, one final question that I have for you. Besides yourself, cast 3 people for All Stars, for BBCAN All Stars. So you there and give us 3 more.
From his season?
From his season. Any BBCAN season.
Okay.
Kiefer.
Definitely.
Yep.
I probably have to pick like who else?
You said Marty?
No. Didn't hear that.
I don't know, Kiefer. I'd love to play with Moose again. And I don't know. Like I don't really know the other seasons that well, so I probably have to pick one of my seasons.
Yeah.
I would say Summer, but she threw too many cops. So
Look, I think she learned her lesson now. I think you may be good going into All Stars.
We love you, Summer, but no.
I don't know. It'd be fun to play with like T or something like that. Or my people.
We got to see Ty back again too.
Oh yeah, Ty. Yeah, well, yeah. Jetson. I play Jet. I play any of these guys.
I just want to look at them. They ain't even gotta play.
See what I had to do.
As a matter of fact, we can get Gino back and we can just do a little late night, brawl.
WWE.
And let's just see who wins. BB10 versus BB9. I think we can set something up. You know what I'm saying?
See what I have to deal with the 3 women on the pod.
We can sell tickets.
I'm just trying to see y'all in y'all undies. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Listen, those boys are big. I got a lot of work to do.
Hey, we was looking at you too.
Hey,
we was looking. I said all of y'all. We was looking.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
My head's this big. I might not be able to get through that door.
Oh, Jesus.
I met Jed in Toronto. The guy's so cool. I liked him. He's like, and these guys let me they even Dougie. They all let me FaceTime them and ask him questions.
That's dope.
So they're really cool about that. I still haven't met Tyshawn, but it'd be a pleasure to meet him too. So
he all the way around the world. That's the problem. He everywhere, but in Canada.
He raced.
Yep.
Look, Hermon, I really want we as a podcast really want to thank you so much for coming to the show. You're more than welcome to come back again to chat with us. You're now an exclusive member of this very entertaining group chat.
Come on, fam.
Love that. Yeah. Hey, so who all gonna be there? Is what I'm saying.
Listen. There you go.
I'm gonna show up, but shit, who all gonna be there?
Exactly.
Is what I'm saying.
I know that's right.
Look, say it one more time for us.
Hey, who all gonna be there? I'm coming. Who gonna be there? I'm coming still. It doesn't matter. Let me know the address. I'll be there still. But hey, who all gonna be there? Is what I'm saying.
Period. We love that. Yes, and audience, thank you so much for coming back. We know this season is over. We know our season for season 3, we told you it was over. We dealt with Survivor 42. We did BBCAN 10. And now you're in for a treat for our interview series coming for the remainder of, I guess, the summer. We got a couple more interviews. We got a couple more interviews for you guys. So be on the lookout for that. And again, thank you, Hermon, for coming. Listeners, viewers, thank you for being an exclusive member of this very entertaining group chat.
Bye.